Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahasham Yahweh Shai, Bahasham Rakakodash. Double honor to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone, and peace and mercy to the hopeful elect. I'm the brother Yawanathan, back with another quick lesson. Lord willing, it's edifying. And this devil, he's really putting people's back against a wall with this bringing in of the CBDC and how he's ushering in this digital economy. Because we all know that, they deal with the motto Order Apkeo, and before they ever bring in any new agenda or new system or new plans or whatever you want to call it, they always have these crises before they do it. For an example, the greatest example, COVID-19. All right, they had that whole scamdemic just to get you people to take the vaccine. And then you took the vaccine and now you people are dying left and right. That's just an example right there. But yeah, he's using the carrot on the stick. When the stick don't work, when the carrot doesn't work, the stick will. And that's what he's doing. U.S. banks are abruptly freezing accounts, halting withdrawals without warning or explanation. This is from the Daily Hold. It's basically it says right here, news and insight for the digital economy. And I clicked, I went to the homepage, checked them out. It seemed like a legit source, but we know they're doing this. Bank of America, Chase Bank, JP Morgan, all the major banks that all of us really use on a day-to-day basis to live, they're being compromised because the central bankers, the ones at the top, they want a new system. They want a digital economy. And then I seen this other article from Newsbreak, is digital the new dollar? And they're pretty much speculating, is this going to replace the physical currencies? And of course it will. We all know that, man. Only a person with a half a brain in their head would not understand that they want to make all economy in the world digital, all currency in the world digital. That's why they have central bank digital currency. And if you go to cbdctracker.org, matter of fact, let's check it out. CBDC tracker. This one word, I believe, tracker.org. It's taking a while. There you go. Today's central bank digital currency status. So this was updated either just today or yesterday. You got the United Arab Emirates. They announced in 2019, they announced their CBDC. You could click here. You could see it where part of the research or wherever they're at with it. It gives you more details. See, research status updated. See all of this retail. They were basically dealing with retail CBDC, which is basically for consumers. So that would be for like what we would use, the CBDCs that we would be programmed with, because it's basically just a software, from the central banks, the digital currencies. They would basically just manipulate it. If they're giving you 100 or whatever, however they value it, it could be devalued, it could be eliminated, it could be taken out at any point in time. The hell is that outside, man? So, they pretty much doing this to get more control, more lockdown. I had this scripture, Ecclesiasticus 34:21. The bread of the needy is their life. He that defraudeth him thereof is a man of blood. He that taketh away his neighbor's living slayeth him, and he that defraudeth the labor of his hire is as a bloodshedder. So what are they doing? They taking away their neighbor's living. He that taketh away his neighbor's living is talking about his bread, which is talking about, in this society, our money. All right, because in the ancient world, maybe men would get paid with bread. Men would get paid with silver, gold, with resources, actual resources, not fucking debt papers, which goes into what? Proverbs 22:7, which is how they already locked you people into the system. That's why your back is against the wall. That's why you don't really have a choice but to go along with the CBDC. But guess what? We all going to have a choice when it goes to the microchip. When it comes to that mark of the beast, according to Revelation 3:10, and I hold that too. We all going to have a choice to make. And, those of us that's a part of this truth that have been, working in this laboring in this ministry, Lord willing, we're going to be delivered from that time. You know, the Lord's going to put the spirit on us to make the right choice, because we don't want to be a part of the system. This is corrupt. And the Most High is going to charge you Edomites, you elite banker families. He's going to charge you with the sin of murder, because as we just read, you know, you taking away the bread of the needy, you freezing people accounts, you devaluing the money, you getting ready to crash the whole economy just so you could bring in some new system, and you about to fucking ruin millions of or billions of people's lives and literally kill people. Might I add, literally shed blood, literally murder billions of people just to bring in this so-called new world order. You know, this shit is sick, bro. Whenever I see these things on the news, I don't necessarily feel bad for the people that it's happening to. And if it happens to a brother, you know, I will feel a certain way about it. But if it happens to me, I'll definitely feel some way about it. But I say that to say this is that when I see these articles, I just get happy because prophecy, man. I know that we're that much closer to that next crisis, that next COVID-19 like scamdemic event, whatever it may be, whether it be blackouts, power outage, grid, you know, failure, whatever it is. It's going to come with famine. It's going to come with rioting and war in the streets, violence. It's going to come with desperation. It's going to come with a lot of pain and agony. I know that. And we all know these things, those of us that's in the truth. And we don't fear those things, man, because we fear Yahweh Shem Yahushai. It's terrible and dreadful to think about. But that's what motivates us to do what we're doing now. Which this is how we're preparing now. We're doing the work. We fasting. We praying. We dealing with one another with love. And with the law, statute, commandments. That's what true love is. So we doing all these things out of knowing the terror of the Lord, and we do these videos to persuade others, so you can see what the hell's going on. And if you can't see by now that the CBDC is going to be the implantable chip, is going to be on the implantable chip. That's why they're bringing in a digital currency, is because they want to chip you. If you can't see that at this point, I don't know if you're ever going to see it, to be honest. The Lord could do anything. You know, the Lord could wake up men whenever he wants to wake them up, however the Lord sees fit. But I'm just speaking as a man. I'm saying, if you are Israelite and you know this truth, and you be listening to our videos, and you know what we teach here at Great Millstone, that the MOTB, the mark of the beast, is the microchip, and you don't agree or you don't see it, it's not looking too good for you. Because they're going to bring this thing rapidly. When this starts rolling, it's really going to roll. And when they start really hurting you people, they really going to put the squeeze on you. All right? These are just little test runs, little hiccups or glitches in the matrix or whatever you want to call it. But this is going to happen on a global scale. You know, bank closures and all of that. Bank runs, failing, crashing economies, recessions leading into depressions. It's going to get real bad before they bring the chip. Because at that point, you people are going to be begging for that microchip. All right, it says U.S. banks are increasingly closing customers' accounts and freezing withdrawals without warning. A growing number of people say they're abruptly losing access to both their checking and saving accounts. That's from CBS, all right, Los Angeles. The report cites the sudden account closure of Elad Nahorai, I don't know if I said that right, who received an ominous alert when logging into his Bank of America account. See, Bank of America. So we see that certain banks that are very popular, and those just happen to be the banks that are getting hit. Right? He then drove to a branch in West LA where he was told his account had been shut down and access to his life savings was denied. And guess what? If you go through the paperwork and this guy, let's say, tried to sue them, everything they're doing is legal. That's what you people don't understand. You've already been entrapped in this system. When you took on the dollar, when the United States government took on the dollar, and the Bretton Woods, I believe, the Bretton Woods meetings, they made the U.S. dollar the world reserve currency. Once they did that, and all you nations like China and everybody else started using the dollar to trade with the OPEC deal and all of that, that's when they got you people already, man. They got you. At this point, the only thing you can really do is just fight against them physically. And we all know that this man's blessed with the sword, man. His military might is insane. The military might that the elites possess throughout all the governments of the world that they own through debt. Because that's how they own all these governments, these central bankers, is through debt. Because everyone's using their debt currencies. Let's look something else up real quick before I read that. How much debt is the world in? The global debt is 305 trillion US dollars, including debt by public and private debtors. Who the fuck do we owe $305 trillion to? That's in US dollars, that is, but it's global debt. All right, meaning all people all over the world owe the bankers this amount of money. All nations, all countries, all kingdoms, all whatever you want to call it, man. Continents, that's a piece of land, but you know, the people that dwell there, everybody on this planet Earth owes these devils money, which leads me to this, Proverbs 22:7. The rich ruleth over the poor. So they did that purposely to rule over us perpetually in their twisted mind perpetually, because that's not sustainable. That's not wisdom. That's wickedness. That's usury, what they're doing by charging interest rates and taxes and all of that. That's usury. The scriptures speak against that. That's wicked. But that's how they got rich. They got rich through evil, through oppression, through rape, robbery, and murder. It says the rich ruleth over the poor, and the borrower is servant to the lender. So we became servant to them. All right. We all slaves to the central bankers. Through your birth certificate, your social security number, you being tracked, everything you buy or whatever, whenever you want to make a big purchase or a loan or open a bank account, what do they need? Your social security number. You're being tracked already. You've been tracked already. But now they want to lock you into this digital prison. That's what they're doing. That's what they're basically performing right now. They're basically entrapping you into this unescapable digital prison. And we could only go but so far. Us, you know, men of the Lord, hopeful elect, we could only go so far with it because we know the prophecy of the mark of the beast, and that all those that take it will be destroyed according to Revelation 14:9-10. So that's our cutoff point. That's when we no longer could basically go along with it. You know, the Romans 13 at that point is not even that it goes out the window, but then that's just a time of judgment. All right. The powers that be is going to be taken out immediately after those days, after this time right here. Revelation 3:10, because thou hast kept the word of my patience, because thou hast kept the word of my patience, talking about the elect, I also will keep thee from the hour of temptation, which shall come upon all the world to try them that dwell upon the earth. I'm reading the KJV, and you got the NLT right next to it. Because you have obeyed my commandment to persevere, I will protect you from the great time of testing that will come upon the whole world, to test those who belong to this world. So you people belong to this world. You got your life savings in these bank accounts. You know, they playing with you people, man. They already got you niggas, man. All right. You people that are fully invested into this world, you're going to be the ones that's going to be tempted the most. We already don't have shit, man. We already don't have shit. We already hate our lives in this society. It said they love not their lives unto death. They overcame him by the blood of the Lamb and the word of their testimony. We don't give a fuck about none of this shit, man. All right. I'm not going to speak proudly, you know, I'm not going to speak proudly, but I do want to just say in the spirit, you know, you can correct me if I'm wrong, but it's going to be harder to tempt the men of the Lord. You know, these devils are going to have a harder time trying to tempt us to take this thing, man, rather than people in the world that got millions and billions of dollars. They got everything to lose. We got nothing to lose. We got everything to gain, man. The kingdom of heaven on the next side. Would you rather get your head chopped off because they threatening you with taking a chip, which is going to be tempting? I'm not going to sit here and say it's going to be a piece of cake, but would you rather, if you in that moment, Abaratazah, you know, the Lord give us a spirit like this, sound mind, you know, no fear. Would you rather get your head chopped off, or would you rather burn to death? Would you rather burn alive, or would you rather get your head dismantled off your body, guillotined off your body? I know I'd rather just get my head cut off. Me personally. Burned alive? That doesn't sound pleasant, man. That sounds horrific. I don't want nothing to do with that. So that's how all the elect, that's how all the hopeful elect feels. Is like, we don't want to feel the wrath and indignation of Yahweh Bashim Yahushai for disobeying his commandment, for doing something that he said not to do. He told us don't do it. He said, keep the word of my patience, and I'm going to protect you in that time. I'm going to keep you from the hour of temptation. I'm going to give you the spirit to resist the devil, and he will flee. All we got to do is pass that test, man, and here comes the kingdom right after this, man. Shortly after this time of testing, all right, Yahushua is going to come to deliver his elect, because times is going to be even harder after this, because you basically won't be able to do nothing without the RFID chip, without CBDC on your RFID chip. You won't be able to buy and sell. All right, it's not going to be because of sin. Oh, you just got to sin and then you'll be able to buy and sell. That doesn't even make sense, man. That's not logical. All right, there's nothing truthful about that. The truth is that this digital push and, you know, how they're using this stick now on you people, man. The carrot, it only took you but so far, and they don't really want to future shock you with just bringing in a microchip. They already been talking about it, Neuralink. You know, the FEMA already, or it's either FEMA, the Federal Emergency Management Agency, or I believe that's what it stands for, or the Department of Homeland Security, one of the two. They bought like hundreds of thousands of microchips back in like 2017 or something, 2018. You people probably forgot. See, we don't forget. We taking tabs on everything. We watching it as it goes, and we seeing how it's developing because we already know the picture at the end. All we doing is just taking the pieces and putting it together, but we already have the puzzle. The picture is already in our mind. The Wada Yahweh Shim Yashai. We're not ignorant of Satan's devices. We know what they're going to do because the Lord already gave it to us in the scriptures. He prophesied it. They're going to sit here and tell you that they're not planning on replacing the physical dollar with the digital dollar. That's bullshit. So why would you have two different ones? Why would you have a digital version of it? Why wouldn't you just have one or the other? How could you have both simultaneously? That doesn't make any sense. And what's the point of the digital one if you're going to have paper one still? And what's the point of the paper one if you already got a digital one now? See, these devils lie right through their teeth. You people eat it up, and you go along with their plans, and then you get burnt. Then you get poisoned. Then you get vaccinated. Then you're dying. Who are you going to blame? All right, it says, despite some controversy and technical challenges, the idea of a digital dollar is gaining traction. Modern digital technology could make modern technology can make a digital dollar a real possibility, and efforts are underway to catalyze a digital tokenized U.S. currency that would coexist with other Federal Reserve liabilities. So they're saying when they first bring it out, it's going to coexist with the dollar. That may be true. Maybe there'll be a short period of time, a window where you got CBDCs, but you still got paper. But guess what? Eventually people ain't going to want to deal with paper because you already got the digital, man. Do you see people still going to the payphone even though they got a cell phone in their pocket? Do you see people trying to buy DVDs and CDs when they could just go online and stream it? You don't see these things no more. It's not a popular thing because even though it may still be available, it's unpopular. It's not, nobody cares. Nobody's going to the payphone unless somebody just doesn't have a phone. And guess what? Eventually, what do? They start knocking the payphones down. Once people stop using them, you put a cord in the meter for the car. Once people stop using that, and they start saying, "Oh, there's a system right here where I could just swipe my card. Let me use that." Then they say, "Oh, well, we don't need this one anymore, so we just get rid of it." And that's just basically what they're doing with this dollar. You know, they're basically just bringing in a better, for them at least. For us, it won't be better. It's going to be more dystopian, more oppressive, but for them, it's going to be easier to control, easier to manage. You know, they could see everyone's transactions. So why would they have the need to still deal with that old rubbish paper? I remember even at one time during the scamdemic, they said the paper money had COVID on it. I mean, they could just say anything to you people and you're going to accept it and just go along with it. So at this point, we here, man. It's at the door. It says, in conclusion, while the physical dollar is not dead yet, let's add in yet, the emergence of a digital dollar represents a significant evolution in the world of finance. It's not so much that digital is the new dollar, but rather that digital currencies represent a new facet of our financial system. So it's basically, again, it's a software. It's a whole different way to really buy and sell. And that's going to be conducted through the MOTB, Revelation 13:16 through 18. Lord willing, to link these articles in the description. Hopefully I remember. I got a short-term memory, so Abarachazah, I'll put them in there. You could check it out, but that's pretty much the point, They're bringing in this digital thing, and pretty soon it's just going to lead to the chip. That's how we see it. That's how we're watching it. And if it takes a couple months, if it takes a year, whatever, we're going to watch. We're just watching. We're being patient. Leave it. We're being patient. No. Leave it. So, yeah, that's the spirit, man. I'm just going to close the lesson out there. I'm going to say, call Allah, Yahweh, Shim, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Rakako Dash. Hope and pray you were edified through the Holy Spirit. And Lord willing, I see you in the next lesson. Shalom.